welcome Mr. Dell back to the Journal of Gospel Music. It's great to have you back here.
Man, it's good to be back, Bob. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
Well, we're glad to have you back. We've been following your career for quite some time. You've been busy, as always. I know Hope Dealer 2 just released this past summer.
Yeah, Hope Dealer 2 burning up the streets, burning up the churches, man, just doing this thing, man. I hope Dealer still out here on the corner, dealing hope.
Well, had you planned on doing a part 2 ever since the first issue of Hope Dealer?
You know what, I didn't plan on doing a part 2. I think society kind of really, God really spoke to me on the recent events of what's been going on with Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and just everything that's been going on to our young kids, especially our young black youth. And, I just felt like it's been 7 years since the last one. Of course, with every 7 years, there's the turning and shifting of a generation. So I believe that, it seemed like this generation that's now coming up is dealing with a lot more than the generation was prior 17 years ago. So I just felt like that it was time for a message to be put out to speak to the generation now.
I know there's a lot of messages in Hope Dealer 2, but what do you want the listeners to come away with when they hear the album?
Hope Dealer 2 is really twofold. It's to the missionaries, street missionaries and men and women of God who have a calling to basically fulfill the Great Commission to go out to the highways and byways and compel men to come to Christ. So it's really missionary music on their end, just motivational music to get them out there and remember the commission and remember their purpose. And then it's also to the lost. It's to that young brother or young sister who feels like that there is no alternative to what the media is giving them and to what the streets is giving them and to what negative messages are being put out there in the world, but that there is hope, and there is hope in Jesus if you just give them a try.
Yeah. Now, are you finding, even 7 years later, that people who purchase your music know of your work with the 3-6 Mafia, or are they finding you for the first time?
I'm getting both, man. I'm getting, of course, my fans that still been rocking with me for the past 7 years. Of course, they're very excited about Hope Dealer 2. Of course, my fan base, they look at that as my classic album. It's a toss-up between Hope Dealer and Thriller. But when it comes to the new fans, man, it's just more like a plus. But, that's what I'm after, man. I'm after some new souls, new people that's basically doing it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, and I also wanted to ask you about your collaboration with Rod G. Newman, because I know there was a Geeks and Gangsters album that came out not long ago.
Yeah. The Geeks and Gangsters, man. I'm always got my ear to the streets. I'm always looking for, new artists and new people, man, that really just, really strike my ear and move me spiritually and with their art and with their talent. Of course, that's been going on since I came in the game, from Canton Jones to Molly Music and now Rod G. Newman, which I feel like, man, he's an awesome talent out of Birmingham, Alabama. He's a DMG affiliate. And I just wanted to, kind of introduce the world to his talent, man, and just team up with him and do a clever project, entitled Geeks and Gangsters, because that seems to be the culture of the young people today. Either you're a hipster or you're a street cat. So we just wanted to appeal to both and show how those two worlds can come together and coexist. So it was just a fun, artistic, project representing the kingdom,
And I noticed in the same thing on Hope Dealer 2, you collaborate with Uncle Reese.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. As a matter of fact, I'm actually on my way to Atlanta to meet both Canton and Uncle Reese to record the video for When Men Worship. Uncle Reese is yet another, young guy, on the scene that I feel like between, with me and Canton, the brand of holy hip-hop that we do, that urban, flavor more geared towards the street, I feel like, artists like Uncle Reese and Rod G. Newman and countless others, they looked up to us. We were the forerunners and the guys that really kicked the door open. So I'm really appreciating what these new guys are coming on the scene and paying homage, to people like myself and Petty D and others, and just what they're bringing to the game.
Well, yeah, that with Lecrae and Triple E now hitting the top of the Billboard charts, do you think that Christian hip-hop and Christian rap is becoming more accepted in the gospel music community?
Yeah, I believe that definitely that, we've torn down a lot of doors and it's definitely being accepted. But then at the same time, I believe that there are also doors that are not open to it, and people that won't accept it. But then that's cool because, like I said, it's not for everybody. Everybody may not like our brand, of gospel, but for those who we're called to, that's who we're called to. And I believe that that is just, the main thing is that we reach the people who we're called to. We're not called to everybody.
Right.
The Bible said that I might save some. So everybody, the Bible calls it that we're all fishermen of men, and it's not just one type of fish. So I believe that we're good at catching the fish that we're intended to catch.
To that point, it seems that Christian hip-hop, Christian rap has done something that gospel hasn't been able to do, and to some extent praise and worship hasn't been able to do, and I think in part contributes to its leadership on the charts is heard by a very wide range of demographics. I mean, you cover everybody, and I don't think gospel and praise and worship have even gotten there where you're getting, suburban white kids, African American kids, Latino kids, Asian kids, all kinds of people listening to the music. Does that seem like a fair assessment?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, but it's hip hop, and hip hop has crossed, we already know, Bob, hip hop has crossed color lines for so long. And I think that it is single-handedly responsible for a lot of the merging of color lines and culture lines and bringing us all together. And so it's only right, with, even though our message is different, but the brand and style that we do is hip-hop. I mean, it's only right for, those different cultures and colors to be involved with the movement and even better, because it gives us a chance to, present Jesus Christ to the masses as which we're supposed to do.
Right. Well, what inspires you today? I mean, what you're writing, what are you drawing your inspiration from?
My inspiration today, man, is really drawn from the plight of the world. What I'm seeing. What I'm seeing in the streets, what I'm seeing on the news, just what I'm seeing just out here in the world. And I think, it's my job as a minister, minister first, rapper second, is to, speak to the plight of what's going on in the world and present Jesus as the hope, the savior, for my generation and generation to come.
Yeah. That's a good point. What some readers may not know is the full extent of your ministry. Talk about the part of your work that is not about making music.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny, how it happened about, because, originally when I left 36 Mafia, I thought that it was just going to be about music. I just thought that, hey, God changed my life, and I'm just going to be a rapper for God. But, lo and behold, God had a different plan, and he had been speaking to me about ministry and going into ministry. And, I accepted the calling of a pastor, and now I'm a pastor of a great church in Memphis, Tennessee, called City of Refuge. And I'm in transition right now. When I first got saved, I promised God that I would tithe my music career to him, so that I would do 10 albums. So, Hope Number 2 is my 8th album. So, in the next 2 years, I'm just doing 2 more albums, and I'll be retired more to transitioning into the speaker and pastoral side of ministry and mentoring in the music, and still running the label DMG with artists that I have, but as an artist, that part of my life will sit down, and then I will enter into more teaching and writing books and pastoring my church.
And when you do meet with people of all ages, I don't just say young people, but people of all ages, what is your message to them? You mentioned, it's sort of the troubles of the world. What is your message to people these days?
My message to them is I'm still hope dealing, man. It's still like, look, Jesus is the way, man. And I mean, you need him in your life. And to that young man and young woman, just letting them know that he came to give you life in that more abundantly. And I just feel like, today we're living in a time where young people especially feel like everything is against them. And my job is just to give them inspiration and hope that there is somebody that's for you. And if you accept them in your life, it'll change for the better. I mean, he did it for me, and he can do it for you too.
Well, what is coming up for you in 2015? What plans do you have set up?
In 2015, man, I'm Hope Dilla Tour. We'll be kicking off the Hope Dilla Tour, and we'll be running that from June to September. coming to a city near you with the rest of the DMG family, you know, the artists on my label, D. McGee, Merck, E-Rock, Rod G. Newman. And right now, you know, I'm also working on my second book, Soul Ties 2, which is a book on how to detox from toxic relationships. And we'll be, you know, hearing new projects from Merck and D. McGee. And right now I'm on this SOS, you know, in light of the whole Mike Brown and Trayvon situation, and that's to save our sons, where I'm going on an evangelistic crusade for Christ, for souls, for young people. And I'm going from city to doing a city a month, every month in my state, and just kind of planting the flag of letting, you know, young people know that they need to receive Jesus and they need to be saved. And so that's what my 2015 is looking like. So I got my plate full, Bob.
It sounds like it, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And so if somebody wants to, you know, get a copy of your music, of any of your artists, your book, what's the best place for them to go?
MrDale.com. That's MrDeal.com. And of course, I'm also, the album is in stores, online, everywhere you buy music. But the one-stop shop definitely is MrDale.com.
I'm guessing you're probably finding these days more music is being purchased digitally than in the stores.
Definitely, I am seeing that. I'm definitely seeing the shift, and you know, I'm up on it, so I'm going with the shift. We got your physical and we got the digital. We got it however you want it. I'm the wholesaler.
Oh,
my
great.
job to have it any way you want.
Well, excellent. Well, final question: growing up, could you have ever imagined you'd be doing what you're doing today?
Never. I always knew that I had to give some music, so I definitely knew that I wanted to be an artist and I wanted to be in music. That was my childhood dream. That's my childhood gift. That's what God gave me. But I never knew that my purpose was this. But to say the least, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love what I do and love the life that God gives me.
Well, we're glad that you do it, Mr. Dell. We appreciate everything you've done and wish you the best for a successful 2015. Everything that you want to get done, I hope that gets accomplished and more.
Amen. Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate it. And look, salute to you too, man. You are definitely a legend and a veteran in the gospel music game, man. And I definitely salute and appreciate all you do, man. So keep doing what you're doing as well.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I know so many on that road, and plenty on them crows, and so many that's all about that dough. But I be on that worship, I be on that worship.
Yeah. Now this worship got me geeked up, and I participate often with my homies. God, you see us worship till we get up in the coffin, hands raised like I'm reaching for my Gucci loafers at the top of my closet. Glory pouring like a faucet. Thought about his goodness and almost lost it. You died for me, the ultimate sacrifice, like it wasn't unto it. So when I praise and worship, I don't do it alone. I try to make everybody do it. Everybody do it.
We worshiping, doing my best right now. Should've been dead and gone a long time ago, but I feel so blessed right now. I know so many on that road, and plenty on them crows, and so many that's all about that dough. But I be on that worship, I be on that worship. I know so many on that road, and plenty on them crows, and so many that's all about that dough. But I be on that worship, I be on that worship.
Years here, worship make a dealer wanna ride. Arms stretched out like I'm playing outside. Popping as I'm dropping like a coffin. Now I'm hopping to the loft and like Martin, you can run, tell I. On my back with my eyes to the sky. Look to the hills for my help, but cry. This is what it sounds like when them gangsters cry. All my life been searching for a love to match my pain. On my knees I plead at night, but nothing ever was the same. Since he came, I switched lanes into light and out the dark. Changed my heart, brought the sunshine like my last name was a Clark.
I know so many on that road, and plenty on them crows, and so many that's all about that dough. But I be on that worship. I be on that worship. I know so many on that road, and plenty on them crows, and so many that's all about that dough. But I be on that worship. I be on that worship.
The industry driving me crazy, and I ain't been worshiping lately. But he saved me and gave me peace inside my mind. Now I find that everybody left the basics, now they running blind. Now I'm back on track and I'm sticking to the fact that he gave his life for mine. That sacrifice let me know, no matter what he won't let me go. So I'm in it till it's over, I'll forever worship. Merciful Father on high, think about your love and I just might cry. You love me forever and it couldn't get better, so I scream hallelujah.
And plenty on them
we on that work,
so
baby.
many that's
Ken
all
Jones,
about that dough.
Mr. Dan,
I be on that work.
on the Reese, we on it.
I be on that
I be on that work.
I know so many on that road, and plenty on them crows, and so many that's all about that dough. But I be on that worship. I be on that worship. I know so many on that road, and plenty on them crows, and so many that's all about that dough. But I be on that worship. I be on that worship. I know so many on that road, and plenty on them crows, and so many that's all about that dough. But I be on that worship. I be on that worship.